5:30 now. Yes, so it's 5:30 now. We will start. Yeah, so welcome all of us here to another Germ Zero Waste Community Livestream. My name is Sue Yee. I'm your host of today's sessions about tips and tricks on how to store your food without any unnecessary trash and also to last longer. And today we have our community friend Elena to join us and also to share about more tips and tricks on how to also go low waste during Ramadan season. Hello, Elena.
Hi, Zee. Hi, Zero Waste Malaysia. Happy to be here.
Yeah. Yes. So thanks everyone for tuning in, and then we will start we will get into the discussion about the topic, and also welcome to drop your questions under the comments so that we could also answer all of the questions one by one. Okay. Yeah. So maybe I would share about one quick fact about what's the objective of these sessions. So it's actually very important because we create a lot of food waste during festive seasons, and during Ramadan, according to the statistic from SW Corp, we actually produce up to 4,005 tons of edible food daily. So if we accumulate for 1 month, it's about like 120,000 tons. Yeah, so the number of the food waste is very, very overwhelming. But because also this during this period of time is also pandemic, right? And also all of this COVID-19 thing. So Elena, do you find any difference compared to previous Ramadan? Yeah, and what do you feel about it? Yeah.
Well, actually, I think there's positive and negative in terms of becoming or being zero waste during a pandemic and during Ramadan. Just to point out that I'm vegetarian, so my food waste is, I think, quite low because of that. Because I don't have to deal with the bones, I don't have to deal with the unnecessary packaging from buying meat. So if you're not, it's fine. You can deal with those waste on responsibly as well. But the positive on the challenging side, I think, is that I can't really buy a lot of the things that I would normally buy in a zero waste manner. So the pasar that I usually go to, sometimes it's closed and they don't give advance notice that it's closed. So I would go there, and then when you want to go out, it's already such a hassle because you have to mentally prepare to go out, and then you have to wear your face mask, and then you have to prepare all of your bags. So I'll just go to a different store, which would happen to be a grocery store, which is near the market that I would usually go to. And if you go to a supermarket, I think you kind of have to deal with some form of waste. So it's hard to be completely zero waste when under these circumstances, but that's fine. You just have to learn how to adapt. So for instance, I wanted to make a Thai food like tom yum or tom kha, and I wanted to get lemongrass, and usually at the pasar I can get like one stick of lemongrass, right? Which is all I need because it's just me and my husband at home. Unfortunately, because I went to the supermarket, I had to buy like this whole stick of lemongrass, which is already wrapped with rubber band and with the price tag sticker. So I had like 4 extra lemongrass, which I didn't need. But it's okay. We can learn how to use them in a different way. But I think I feel like it's also a positive thing to perform Ramadan and perform fasting during the lockdown, simply because for a lot of Muslims, like Ramadan is a time where we reflect. It's about equality and it's about charity. So without the Ramadan bazaars, without the hotel buffets, I think we all have to think for ourselves like what we can do ourselves and reflect, nourish ourselves using what we have, preparing our own food, being closer to nature because we have to prepare the food ourselves, right? So I think it's a positive thing, and for us to go through this and be more grateful for what we have and increase our knowledge on how to actually cook properly and deal with the food waste that we have. Just because it's important, it's a key principle, not just for everyone, but it's specifically also in Islam.
yeah, it's all about like being more grateful with our food source, and also being more grateful about what we actually have, and also I guess to be really less wasteful during the period of time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Thank you, Elena. Yeah, so maybe without further ado, I would like to know about your top 10 tips of storing your produce to last longer. I also prepare a list, but maybe I'll add on if I miss out, if we need, if maybe I think if let's say it will add value to the discussion.
Sure.
Yeah,
Actually,
so we can.
I didn't count how many I have. I'll just give some tips. But I think the first and most important thing is planning. So before the Ramadan period, I think like for me the biggest challenge for the lockdown is that I have to cook so much more than I usually do, because my husband and I we live on our own, and then we go to our parents' house like twice a week, and then we would eat out with friends maybe once a week. And Ramadan is a time that we are quite sociable and eat out with friends, right? So now that we can't do that, it's like, cooking so much. And the difficult part about cooking so much is thinking about what do I cook today, and that's challenging. So my first tip is to plan ahead. Yeah. So before Ramadan started, I actually wanted to reduce all kinds of thinking, because yes, I have an air fryer up there. I wanted to reduce my thinking, because I'm still working, and like typically during it happens to be a very busy period for me. So I end work at around 5:30. So I'll start cooking at 6, which means that I only have 30 minutes to like relax and rejuvenate before I have to go to the kitchen to start preparing what to eat. So to avoid my stress, I made a schedule of the food that I want to eat during Ramadan, and I actually
I saw that on your Instagram.
Yeah, so I wanted to show you if you can see it. So I have like say for instance over there it says like lentil and mushroom flaky pie, and then the next day I will eat whatever that is, sambal eggs, and then it goes on for like 30 days. So every day is a different menu, and because in Ramadan you get quite more of eating all the same thing all the time. So it's like all different menu, and I share every day. I share what I eat, and it's always different. And this allows me to make a list, which is step 2 for me. So planning allows you to go to tip number 2, which is make a list for the grocery ingredients that you need, so that when you go to the supermarket or the market, you don't have to kind of think too much about what you need to buy. You already know. You don't get distracted by other things, and then you don't waste time on stuff you don't need, and stuff that will just rot in your fridge later on. So that's very important step number 2. And then the third one, I guess we'll go into storage, because I think that's what a lot of people are most interested about. I'll just go through some of the ways that I store my own produce, and then later I'm gonna like open my fridge so you can see. But I already saw Sue Yee's fridge, and it's so much more impressive than mine. So we're gonna ask her also to open her
fridge. I actually learned a lot of tips from your profile actually. About how you make oatmeal, non-slimy oatmeal. I actually make one this morning.
Okay, cool. I have one as well. Okay, so my first tip for the food storage part is to store leafy vegetables in a wet cloth. So you'll find that as the week goes by in your fridge, if you haven't used it, the cloth will dry up. But just keep wetting it so that it stays damp. And like I'll show you, I have I have moringa leaves from my mom's garden that I plucked last Sunday, and I checked it before, and it looks so fresh. I can't wait to cook it tomorrow in my dal.
Wow. Yummy.
Yes. So the second food storage tip is for your broccoli and asparagus. You just put your you kind of put your broccoli or asparagus into a jar with some water inside, and like kind of like putting flowers in a vase, and then it will stay fresh for quite some time. The third one would be for carrots and celery. So you would put the whole thing, like the whole carrot, submerge it in water in a jar. Like it doesn't matter if it's plastic or glass. Just use what you have. Fourthly, for stuff like okra and beans, not like black beans, but like green beans, like long beans and
French beans.
Yeah, I would put it inside either a beeswax wrap or a dry cloth, and then put it in my fridge. For fruits, I never have any problems finishing fruits because I snack on fruits. I just make sure that I put it at eye level so that whenever I feel like snacking, that's what I eat first. And then for Ramadan, I kind of to make sure that we're full for a whole day, I would have a fruit smoothie with dates inside so that it's easy to consume during sahur as well. So fruits is never a problem. We never have enough fruits in the house. I just restocked. My mother-in-law gave me some fruit, so I'm very happy about that today. So I'm well stocked today. And then one more important thing for fruits, for bananas, I just found out this like really amazing tip because I always have problem with bananas, so I had to learn how to make a lot of recipes using bananas so that I don't have to waste them. But now I found out a way to keep them fresh. Instead, so I used to put it in a bowl like on the counter, right? But now I learned that some people say like hanging it is a good way to make it last, be fresh for a longer time. But I found like hanging it just makes it ripen at the same pace throughout the fruit rather than just the bottom ripening. And then it creates the banana aroma in your kitchen, which is really nice. But then I found that for me, it attracted a lot of ants. So then I had like this ant problem. And then I gave up on the hanging banana thing. But now I figured out that, I don't know if you can see it, but if you put your banana in like a saucer with some water on the table, it lasts really long. Look at how yellow my bananas are. And these are from Monday.
So, these are from Monday.
Yeah, it's so yellow. It's so yummy. Yeah.
So the key thing is to put the top of the banana in a saucepan of water.
Yeah, it's like a small saucer of water, just a shallow water. And it's like lasting me a really long time.
This is a very, very good tip.
I just found out about this and I'm excited. So I had to share that. Yeah. And then for milk, I don't typically, like, I know how people usually put it in the fridge door. I don't do that because when you open the fridge door, the temperature will fluctuate and it will create, and then the heat might cause the milk to not be in the correct temperature. So I usually put it in the bottom shelf of my fridge so that it lasts a bit longer. And this works for all types of milk. Yeah. So not just dairy milk, but also for your oat milk or soy milk or any other plant-based milks. And then for your herbs, if you buy them fresh, if you buy stuff like basil, then it's like kind of a leafy green, and I would wrap them in a wet cloth as well. But if you get like thyme or rosemary, you could put it in beeswax wrap, and it will last quite long. And if it doesn't, and if you find that it's quite dry, you could put it on a baking tray and bake it for like 5 minutes at 160 degrees. And so you will have like dried herbs instead, and then you can use it for like your pasta sauce or whatever it is like. Useful.
Yeah, and make it dry to preserve it longer.
Exactly. And then recently, I realized that I wanted some spicy mayo, so I posted about this yesterday. And I didn't want to go out to the store and get like 2 bottles, like a bottle of mayo and then a bottle of like chili sauce to make spicy mayo. So I, instead of like going out, I just Googled the recipe of how to make mayo, and then realized what ingredients I had. And usually to make mayo, you need mustard, eggs, and oil. But I didn't have mustard, so then I Googled how to make mayo without mustard, and like I found a nice recipe for it. So be creative, and you'll be able to use what you have in your own kitchen to do your to perform whatever you need to do. It's just amazing. It's seriously amazing what people are already doing online. Like, you know, it's crazy. You just have to Google it and see.
Yeah, and Google is our teacher.
Exactly.
There are a lot of resources on when we just click search.
Yes, exactly. And I think finally, my no, not finally, second, penultimately, for tomatoes, usually I would take off the green parts, the green leaves on top, and put it face down in a container and put it in the fridge. But this is if you're in a hot country. I think in cold countries, people just leave it out.
Yeah. And I think you place it upside down, you are able to prevent the moisture from the tomato.
Exactly. Yeah, the air doesn't go through the. Yeah. You know everything as well. Yeah.
Because I also have. I always face down.
Oh, nice.
And then I'll just place it in the fridge. Yeah.
Awesome. So finally, I think my second biggest, most important tip after planning is to compost, to start your compost.
Yeah.
And I think you guys are going to have a session next week on composting, right?
Yes, with exactly.
Yeah, I'm so excited for that because my compost bin is quite full now because I've been cooking a lot and I need to figure out how else I can compost. But
what's other options?
Yeah, what are the other options? So all of your food scraps, if you have the tops of carrots or the stems of broccolis and you don't want to eat it, I eat it. But if you don't want to, you can always make it into like a vegetable broth before you compost it, so that it has like a second life even after you already ate it. And then you make the soup, which you can put in a range of other recipes like curries or Thai soups. It's very useful. So it's an important part of my journey. I don't know. Their connection was poor. Yeah. I think so. Hello. Everyone okay?
I think we just got disconnected. Can you hear me? Elena, can you hear me?
Hello?
I think we just got disconnected from Instagram. Let me just try again. Sorry for the connection problem. Okay, let me see if I can go live on Instagram. Checking connections. You are live. Okay, on Instagram.
Live?
Yes. And then we just need to do the same thing again to go muted on our laptop. So sorry for the inconvenience, everyone. Let me see.
It didn't come out for me to.
Okay, I'm adding you now.
Okay, you can add me.
Yeah, adding you.
All right. Oh, okay, there you go.
You need to accept my request. Sorry, everyone. We are back on actions. Waiting for you. Did you receive my request?
I requested, yeah.
Still waiting for.
Should I go out and then try again?
Yeah. Can you try again?
Okay. I joined.
Mm,
Request.
Okay.
I requested. Yeah.
Oh, you requested.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me.
Oh
Okay, I adding you again.
no. Okay. Sorry, everyone.
Sorry, everyone, for technical issue.
I'm not in yet.
Mm,
I am. I requested again.
Okay, then you request again. Okay.
Yep.
It's okay. We
You
need time to digest all the rich information shared.
Okay, let me mute it again. Okay.
Okay, we meet.
Sorry, I'm mute already. Yeah. Is everything okay?
Yes, no echo. Thank you, everyone.
Alright.
Sorry for the connection problem. This happens sometimes, like once a day, that. Okay. Yeah. So maybe we can, do a bit of recap from the tips and tricks that Elena shares just now. First, we need to plan our meal. Hello, Marina. So by planning our meal, by planning our trips, we are able to make a list on what kind of meal that we would like to cook. And this will also ease our process when we wanted to know what we actually need to buy. So this will reduce on how you just get clueless when sometimes you are just in supermarket and you do not know what to buy. Yeah, so this tips is very, very useful to plan, to make a list, and then you will know what to buy. Yeah, and then we follow by the tips on how to store our produce to last longer. As Elena mentioned just now, for leafy greens, it's best to use wet cloth. And the second one, if I remember, for broccoli and also asparagus, to chop the stem a little bit and then submerge them in a cup of water. And also, it's very, very good for us to dry our herbs in order to preserve their life. And then also tomato face down
Yes.
to prevent the moisture come out from the tomato. And also, what else? Let me see. Need to be creative with your meal plan so that you are able to enjoy your meal every day, different cuisine, you want Asian or Thai or Chinese, everything you name it. And then be more appreciate with what you have, be more grateful by also being less wasteful. And the last one will be also to compost. Yeah. Is that right?
Yes.
I think it's a very, very good recap.
Yeah,
so we can
really
continue.
Do you have any other tips, Sue Yee, to add?
Let me see my Lisa.
Sorry.
Okay, so
Nurun mentioned that we forgot about the banana tip. And
Nurun, you're so smart. Means that you really listen to our life. Yeah, so about banana, there's a very, very great tips rather than hanging your banana is to prepare a saucepan and a little bit of water and just put your banana, the tips of your banana in.
Banana.
Yeah, so this will help your banana to last longer. And that one from Elena is already since Monday, right? And it looks super great.
And it's so yellow and nice.
Yes, thank you, Nurun. I love you so much. Okay, so maybe I look from my list. I actually have a lot of tips and tricks that are very similar with you. So first, to buy only what you need. So by only buying by buying only what you need, you are able to prevent extra unnecessary food waste. And also, one important tip also to make your food visible, which is also similar with yours, to display your fruits to be more visible, so that we could actually snack on with the healthy food or healthier alternatives. And also the third one will be storing carrot in the water, which also similar with yours. And also for me, when I write here with the herbs, rather than I dry, I actually freeze them. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I actually freeze them in the water, and then when I wanted to masak, I just throw one cube of the herbs. So I can mix like rosemary or thyme, and then I just choop. Yeah, and it's quite good because herbs, I find that it's very hard. I'm not sure why. Maybe because of our temperature. Even though I submerge them into the water, it still doesn't really last very, very long. I don't know why. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this happens
But
in my area.
I've seen that some people will put it with oil instead of water in a silicone.
Yeah.
So maybe that will be.
I actually,
Did it work?
yeah, I tried before, but it makes my process of cleaning the ice cube tray very complicated. So I prefer to put water.
Yeah, understand.
Yeah.
It has
So
to be.
that's why I just swap to water instead of oil. And then thanks to you, I have a new tips on how to store my banana, because here I write that whenever I have any overripe banana, I will just freeze them to make it to smoothie or ice cream, or like those ice cream stick. Yeah. And then also damp cloth bag for leafy green, and also need to understand that what actually inside your fridge, so that you could actually consume what tends to go bad. Yeah. So whenever if you find that leafy green, you can actually eat them first before you eat the broccoli or cauliflower that tends to last longer. Yeah. And also I also have a tips here to freeze tofu, because usually what I did is I have when I buy tofu, I couldn't finish tight, so I will try to cube form.
I might lose you
to
again.
Place them in the freezer, and I find that it's very, very.
Is everything? Yeah, it's now okay.
I think it's okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Oh my god, what happened? Oh my god.
Don't worry.
Tofu. Yeah, talking about tofu, I find that by freezing our tofu, I find that the marinated process will be very, very nice, because all the sauces are able to immerse in the tofu itself when you're actually preparing your meal. Yeah. And then be very creative. So if let's say we have any vegetables that are going bad soon, I think that's very easy to do is to chuck them into a pot and make them into a creamy avocado soup. Yeah, so this is something that I learned from the past experience. Yeah, and I think it's helpful also, because the veggie soup is quite yummy, like pumpkins. You can just chop a little bit. Yeah, and then the last but not least will be compose our food scrap.
Yeah, actually.
So I guess this is what actually cover from my list.
Actually, I wanted to add, since you mentioned about the creamy soup, right? In my meal plan, I usually have one day where I have like either fried rice, so that I can just like put all of the vegetables and like fry it with some rice and like chili paste and soy sauce, so that I can use up all of my vegetables that I didn't get to finish before. Or I will do a poke bowl, which I did yesterday, and it was like super amazing. I love having poke bowls. Yeah, so fresh.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's so nourishing. Poke bowl, yeah. It's so fresh and nourishing after like a long day of fasting. It was just like so nice and filling, and it was like all just like fresh vegetables. So I really liked it. Yeah.
Nice, sweet. Okay, so now I guess both of us have shared about our top 10 or top list of our tips to store our produce to last longer. Maybe if let's say we miss out anything, you could also comment down below to let us know, and we are actually open for questions. So let me see from virtual platform. Top 10 stuff that you normally buy during MCO.
Okay.
Elena,
since I'm vegetarian, like it's been hard for me to find package-free protein like tofu and tempeh. So don't judge me. I need to survive during puasa. I need to be well nourished. So I do buy tofu and tempeh are my key ingredients for my protein. But now since I couldn't find them package free, I have to be a bit more creative and reduce my consumption of those things, so I don't end up with like a lot of plastic. So I now eat a lot of like lentils and a lot of chickpeas.
Chickpeas.
Yeah, because some dairy stores
Yes.
are still open. So these are a good source of protein for me, and I find that they keep me really full during the fasting month. And plus, like, I'm half Indian, so like I love Indian food, and I grew up eating dal anyway. So I make a lot of dal, and that's like one of my favorite foods to make during the lockdown and during fasting. So I think that's 4. Other stuff that I like to buy during the MCO is carrots, because they last really long in the fridge when you submerge it in water. Broccoli as well, because it's a good source of protein and it's so versatile. You can put it in like your poke bowl. You can put it in nasi goreng even if you want, and you can bake it or fry it. It's a super versatile one. And obviously, like rice, eggs are staples, but I don't have to buy rice that often. And chilies, yeah, like I can't live without chilies, so I always have like a fresh stack of chilies. And then
I feel you.
yeah, and then mangoes and bananas and dates. I think that's 10, but those are my top ones. Yeah.
Ooh. For me, of course, I can't run without rice, but I do not need to stock up because I can just easily buy in bulk. And then noodles, chickpeas, same with yours, lentils, eggs. What else? Tomato. Ginger, because I need ginger because I usually make my own ginger beer. Yeah, so that's how I need ginger. Oh, cane sugar, and as well as what else? Flour.
Yeah,
all-purpose flour and wholemeal flour, because I think these 2 ingredients are very, very versatile. That you can do chapati, you could do flat bread, you can do banana bread.
Yeah, pasta as well.
Very versatile.
Yeah, I always make.
I haven't made pasta.
I always make my own pasta and bread.
It's very hard. Nice.
Yeah, but I guess my
so let's see. We have
2 staples are like onion and garlic. So I forgot to mention those.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I think higher protein.
Yes. There is a bit of a difference. Just because I need to make sure that I get enough fuel for the day. Not that I have to do a lot because it's like lockdown and everything. I don't have to go travel to work or run somewhere. But during Ramadan, I tend to focus a lot on making sure that I get enough like protein and carbohydrates. So it's usually carbohydrate heavy, even in the mornings. And I know that a lot of people say that it's hard for them to eat leftovers from buka puasa to eat in the morning during sahur, our pre-dawn meal. But I find that it's not a problem for me because it's not meat-based. I don't think like even when I used to eat meat, I don't really like eating meat in the morning. And so it's become like so much easier for me to prep my food because I just have to cook once a day rather than like make a different meal in the morning. So it's easier. And during Ramadan, I always have my smoothies, which I don't have normally on a typical day. So I would have like mango, banana, and date smoothie, like all in one with either oat milk or soy milk. And that really like keeps me full for a long time. And that's basically it, I think. And I don't snack that much, and I don't drink any caffeine during Ramadan, like none at all.
Oh, so no coffee.
No.
Okay.
No coffee, no tea, nothing. Yeah.
Okay, so we have another question from Wen. Can you suggest some lentil recipe?
Oh wow, I don't know because it's just like second nature to me. So I would just use like I would fry some onions and then ginger garlic paste in oil, and then add the lentils and then boil the lentils, and then add I'll also put either turmeric or curry paste, and then saute everything, boil it, and then it just becomes a dal. And then you can add whatever you want, like spinach which is really nice. My favorite is moringa leaves. So you could put moringa leaves with mustard seeds and curry leaves. Oh my god, it's so flavorful. It's so good.
And maybe touch up a bit of coconut milk.
Oh yes, exactly. Well, any milk is fine, but coconut milk is so good. Yeah, it's so tasty. But it's so hard to find. Like during the lockdown, I find the coconut milk in package.
You mean in package free? Oh yeah. But just now what I do is after I have my coconut water, I just scrap all the meat and then blend it with water, like how we did for oatmeal. Yeah.
So smart. Okay, I'll try that. Yeah.
Okay, Elsie has a question. Do you have vegan zero waste tips as well? Is it means recipe or I guess she means recipe?
I guess I am vegetarian, so I do consume things like cheese sometimes and eggs, but not all the time. So predominantly, I try to reduce I don't drink milk like dairy milk. I only drink oat milk and soy milk and like other forms of plant-based milk. And I guess the tip would be to make your own milk rather than buying the processed type already, because it's just so much more nourishing, and better for you. And I don't really buy into the whole like vegan consumerism market, like those impossible blah 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 like fake meats. Now that during this Ramadan, I've been eating a lot more vegan food than I did in the previous Ramadan last year, which was my first year of being vegetarian during the fasting month. And I find that it keeps me full for a much longer time. And then yesterday when I had the poke bowl, it was like a life-changing moment, because I don't usually like salads, but then everything together with the spicy mayo that I made, oh my god, it was so good. And I hardly cooked anything. I just baked some broccoli, and it was 100% vegan. Oh no, it actually has mayo, so it's not vegan. But you can find other sauces, like even if you had like an olive oil or like tamari sauce, you could have an alternative to that mayo sauce.
And I guess there are also a lot of vegan accounts that you could also follow, like Davina, who also has a lot of like vegan recipes to refer.
Yeah, I like Earth by Maria's recipes because they're easy. Yeah. So you can check that out.
Okay, I think this question is from your fans or from your followers. Hi, Elena, saw you make oatmeal. Can I use instant oats instead of raw oats? And also Aisha saying that is there any tips to make oatmeal not slimy?
Okay, so for me, I've never tried using instant oats because I haven't been able to find instant oats in a zero waste manner. So I haven't tried it yet, because last time a zero waste shop that I usually go to sells instant oats, but at that time I wasn't making oat milk yet, so I don't know. And I've only tried doing it with rolled oats, which tastes amazing. But I just find that it might be a bit hard to use instant and to use the instant oats because it's already quite small.
Already quite fine.
Yeah, so you might need to soak it or something. So I don't quite know. But a tip to make the oat milk less slimy is to use a mash strainer instead of a nut milk bag, because when you squeeze everything out, that's when the sliminess occurs. And I've seen tips that about using cold water instead of warm water to make it less
definitely
slimy.
help.
Yeah,
yes,
that helps. Yeah.
Because if you imagine that you place a normal room temperature water to make oatmeal, it's similar with what you're going to do with the hot oatmeal. Yeah. So if let's say you use cold water, it can balance it out and then it makes less slimy.
Yeah, so, exactly.
Yeah. So what I did is I usually when I measured 1 cup of meal, 1 cup of oats and 4 cups of water, I will add like 5 to 6 ice cubes to just reduce the sliminess.
Exactly.
Oh my god, I already have a question. She said, my spring onion died after I put them in water. Any tips I can avoid killing them?
Yes. So you should change the water every day if you can, and then put it near closest to sunlight as possible, but without direct exposure to the sun. So in a shade, but where it gets sun. And then if it already roots and you want to make sure that they stay alive, why don't you plant them in soil? But if it died before, then I'm sorry. If it died like really early on, maybe it's just not the best spring onion that you bought.
Ooh, Kim Bujo, what kind of rice you consume, Elena? Oh my god, you have a lot of followers.
So I usually eat brown rice, but then sometimes I also eat white rice. I recently, well, not recently, before the lockdown, I went to a meeting at Magic, which is a ministry department in Malaysia that deals with kind of like startups and innovation. And I got the bag of rice, which is red rice from Sarawak. And oh my god, I think it's a langit rice, and it is like the best rice I've ever tasted in my life, and I am like a big fan of rice. So that was like my ultimate favorite. But so they gave it to me during the meeting, and it's like a small packet, maybe 1 kg. And I was like saving it like so I can eat it like for a long time, but it's finished now, and it came in plastic, so I don't know if I will order it again. But if they had like 5 kg, I might, because it's a really organic rice, and you would be supporting the farmers,
the local farmers.
Our local farmers in Sarawak, and it's a startup that helps to bridge between the suppliers and to us in Semenanjung. So I would really recommend that. But if you're concerned about the plastic, then you could probably wait. I hear that 10 Waste Shop has it. It might be a bit less. I think so. Yes.
They have the red, black, and I think Jobs tiers. Yeah, they have 3 kinds of the rice, and and I think I heard they are also only practicing the traditional method to do the rice planting. So it's quite an inspiring story from that brand.
Oh my god, I love it so much. It's like the best rice ever. You just can't stop thinking about it.
And the chewiness. Yeah. Okay, I think maybe we can put a pause on the question first, because I guess all of our audience might be very, very curious about what's behind Elena background.
Oh my god. Yeah.
That's a very nice fridge you have, the yellow color.
Yeah, it's actually secondhand, refurbished. And so they painted it yellow. It wasn't me. The person who refurbishes fridges actually paints the fridge. So there was like an orange fridge, a yellow fridge. Yeah, I love it so much. Nice. Okay, so I'm going to show you like what's inside it. Okay,
like a quick go through.
All right, so here I have my fruits in the top, on eye level. Kind of, I'm kind of standing, so it's eye level to me. And then I have kind of like my food that I'm supposed to eat, like the leftovers. So so that was the shepherd's pie that I made a couple of days ago, and I still have some, and I'll eat it for sahur, maybe tomorrow. And then since I made the shepherd's pie, okay, I'm gonna close this for a while I'll tell the story. So a couple of days ago when I made the shepherd's pie, like I accidentally boiled too much potatoes. So it was like I didn't like the ratio of potatoes to meat, because the potatoes were quite big. So then I decided that I don't want to waste it because I already boiled it, and so I just cut it up and then made the filling for curry puffs, and then I just put it in the fridge, and then tomorrow I'm going to make curry puffs. Okay, so that was
like a mashed potato.
It's not really mashed, but it's like sliced really finely. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Okay,
nice.
So then I have. Let me show you my moringa leaves because I'm so proud of them. So this is like my green leafy vegetables in a wet cloth, and these are like moringa leaves from my mother's garden, which I plucked last Sunday. So it's been almost a week. And seriously, guys, this is amazing. Let me show you. It's still
super fresh.
It's still so green. I don't know if you can see it, but it's like super fresh. Yeah. So
looks so green.
This really works. I guess you could probably see that.
Yes, we could see that.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Very nice.
Yeah. So this one I'm
and I can't believe it has been a week, right? You store this moringa in the fridge. It's so fresh.
It's like, so that one has been a week, and then I also wanted to show you like my okra. So we made this beeswax wrap together. So that was like 2 years ago at the start of my journey. And Sue Yee taught me how to make beeswax wrap. So thank you, Sue Yee.
Oh yeah!
And I'm still using it until now. Like I have so many beeswax wrap. So these are my okra, which was from like, I don't know, my last maybe 5-6 days ago. It's still like super fresh. So
it's very, very fresh.
Yep. It didn't go black.
Without okra cannot go with wet damp cloth, right?
Yeah, not damp.
Dry.
Yeah, dry.
Okay.
So that's why I like the beeswax wrap, because it's still like breathable, so it can still breathe. And that's, I mean, I'm going to cook this tomorrow, but seriously, it could probably last a few more days. And then let me show you my carrot. Oops, maybe I'll do my broccoli. My broccoli in a little cup. Let's water inside. Yep. And then I have my carrots, which are a bit too big, but they're mainly submerged. And then since it's a bit too big, I'll flip them around like every couple of days.
Yeah.
And then I probably show you my asparagus, because this week like the local store has asparagus, and actually like one of my friends in London posted a photo of her asparagus, and I was just so jealous, and I had to find asparagus. And
this asparagus is so big.
Yes, it's local. Can you imagine? Look at that. And I bought like
this is
2
very
bunches.
Big.
Yeah, so I bought 2 bunches. And now like it's submerged half in water. I cut off 1 inch because we don't eat the bottom anyway. And you can save that for your vegetable broth. And then I just like cover the tips and put a rubber band around so that it doesn't dry out too fast. So I'm
so surprised.
So excited about it.
Asparagus.
I know. It's like the best thing ever. And then I wanted to show you also like this. Can you
what is this?
That? This is actually like lemongrass, because I had the extra lemongrass, right? So I just boiled it in some water, and then I cooled it so that
lemongrass water.
Yeah, so it's like lemongrass drink. And then this one I made it with lemongrass and some jasmine buds. So it's gonna be our drink for of water every day. Like quite.
Wow.
Yeah, so pretty much that's it. I have a bit of a cheat box here, because nobody can really go 0 waste under the imperfect system that we have. So I kind of have this cheat box where I bake sometimes, and so I have all of these like chocolate and cream. So I'm not like 100% 0 waste, so don't feel threatened or intimidated, everyone, and don't like scold me as well. Some people are just so mean, but I'm sorry. And I also eat a lot of like halloumi. One of my best friends during studying, like he's Greek, and we lived together, and so like his mom taught me a lot of like Greek recipes, and like halloumi was just like important in so many recipes, and I just can't live without it. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm not
it's a must,
yeah, it's a must eat. I'm sorry. Yeah, so I think that's like my fridge. Was there anything else that I missed? Oh, maybe this one, which is just like my beans, and they are in a dry towel, and they look pretty good. They're like, I don't know. I think they're 4 or 5 days old as well, like the okra. It's pretty good. Looks pretty good.
It's very, very nice.
Yeah, I'm quite proud
And I
of
find
it.
that all of your produce are very big. The asparagus
Yeah.
is big. The long bean is
this
very big.
this is rare. I think there was a I don't know what happened with the farmers, but they had like really amazing produce this week. And then of course,
Nice.
like I saw there was a question about chilies and chili padi. I just put it in a container in my fridge, just like that.
Oh, okay.
And then I also have chili padi, and these are like uh, more than 2 weeks old, like, but it's fine.
Mm.
It's still all right. Like I don't do anything special with them. It's just in a container, like at the side at my side door. And I don't worry too much with chilies because I eat so much of it. It doesn't really matter. And you know, when it's about to go bad, like I'll just chop them up with onions and then fry it with some oil and blend everything. Fry it in oil. Fry the paste in oil.
Sambal.
Yeah, so it becomes sambal, and then I'll just put it in a jar in the fridge. So then,
Nice.
oh yeah, I also had wanted to show you. Oh my god, it's probably not good that I'm opening and closing the fridge.
Okay, we promise this is the last time.
So this,
this is the
this is my mayo. So I'm like proudly showing off my mayo. Oh my god, look, it's so good. It's not even runny. Oh my god, it's so good. It was so delicious. It's so much better than the store-bought stuff, guys. Like I don't know what we were eating and then what processed stuff is in the store-bought stuff.
Yeah,
And
I think the sense of accomplishment to make your own is definitely different, and you taste differently. You are using a different mindset to taste the food that you cook.
Exactly. And this is like my homemade hummus. And that was because I had extra chickpeas from one of the recipes I made, and then I was like, okay, I'll make some hummus, and then I had like so much, so I gave some to my mom, I gave some to my mom-in-law, and it's really delicious. And finally, I guess that's it.
Nice. Okay, but my fridge is not very Instagrammable.
It's so Instagrammable.
But we'll give you a quick look. You find a bit similarities with Elena's one. So I also make my own oat milk, and I actually make hummus too. So basically, you can see it's I try to buy everything package free. So for example, I will use this old container to store my dry noodles. The reason why I store it in fridge is because I wanted to prevent these small bugs. Yeah. And then I also make my hummus too with extra chickpeas, which is very delicious to snack on. This is like lemon turmeric hummus. And I store my carrot as well in the water. Same with Elena. And what else we have? Yeah, I did wrong thing. I put milk here, which I will change. I will put it there. Yeah. So this is the oat milk that I blend this morning.
Wow, that's good. They didn't even separate.
Yeah, and then this is the coconut milk that I blend with the coconut meat.
Smart.
I think it won't separate because I use a lot of ice cube. So you can actually replace ice cube with water. Nice.
Such a good tip.
And then, very far away. So I don't have, I use damp cloth to cover all the leafy green. I too lazy to separate them individually, but so far so good. And then I have my, what is this? I have my bendy lady's fingers in one of the cloth bag, and then I have my lettuce in one of the cloth bags as well. But this one I will spray with water once when I check my fridge lah. Yeah, so not very often. But I try to keep it in the crispy drawer.
Yeah, I don't have a crispy drawer.
Oh. But actually, the crispy drawer doesn't really function well. It's just maybe it's for a decoration purpose. And I can listen. There is some sound in my fridge. Ask me to close the fridge already.
Oh,
yeah.
so
eco-friendly. Yeah, you still can see package stuff like this one. Sometimes my mom, she loves this pesto, which I I love to, so I will try to make my own next time. But whenever we try to shop, we will also try to shop in. We will try to buy something that is in easily recyclable packaging, like glass, carton box, or etc. etc. So I will close this doors. Okay. Yeah. So this is our fridge, and let's see if we have any more questions going on. What about freezer? Yeah. Do you store bread in freezer?
Oh, no, I don't. Actually, my freezer is quite empty because I don't eat meat. So I have nothing much in there except for ice. So yeah. I don't store anything.
Banana. Very far away. My banana.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's too cold. Yeah, I freeze my banana here to make nice cream or smoothie.
Yeah, I saw in my freezer that I actually had some coconut milk from the last time I managed to get it package free. So then I poured it into a container, and then I put it in the freezer. So that's all in my freezer along with ice. And then when I want to use it, I'll just scrape a bit and then use some.
Yeah, and also what I did for one thing, which is like peanut butter jam or tahini sauce. One thing that I find it helpful is that I usually will balik the container to store it.
Nice.
Yeah, because the oil will sort of like protect the whole. I don't know how, but yeah, it's somewhere I read from online. Yeah, which is can last longer if you store like this.
Cool.
Okay, do we have more questions from the audience? If not, we will conclude with our sessions with Elena.
I think we have the how long can.
I never have this problem because I always eat it all within a few days after. Because hummus is too delicious. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like because we make it with the leftover chickpeas instead of like making a fresh batch all the time. We always have like quite little. And the jar that I put it in is a reused jar of very small peanut butter. So
yeah,
I'll finish it by Sunday for sure. So that's a week. I don't know if it can last much longer than that because there's no preservatives.
Yeah. Because for homemade things, it's quite hard to identify like how long does it last. But if let's say you really need to make it last, maybe put a layer of oil, olive oil, or some edible oil on top to protect. But usually we will consume before it goes bad because it doesn't like hummus. Yeah. Okay. So I guess we are almost the end of the sessions. It's almost 6:30 already. We are very deep day already. So we do not want to also do check and about all this schedules on media. Follow this Malaysia Facebook and Instagram.
My last advice is my first advice, which is plan. And stick to your plan. Be disciplined, like me. That's all from me. Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay. Thank you so much, Elena. And maybe
tonight is Friday, so actually it's our cheat day, so we're going to order in some pizza. and then we can compost the box.
Woo!
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so thank you once again, Elena, for joining us for this Germ Zero Waste community live stream, and also all of you guys who tuning in. So sorry in advance if, let's say, we have any connection problem, which is not which was not happening from the previous sessions, but we hope you enjoy, and then have a good evening, have a good Friday, and also be less wasteful, be more grateful. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Happy weekend.
Happy weekend. Happy buka puasa. Oh, thank you.